We have to go back slightly. I want to go back to the line that begins V'choy. Run back to the Malachim. That'll help us understand what follows.
What page is this?
Huh?
Near the middle?
Mamza, yeah, V'choy. A little below the middle.
What was the word?
Chai.
Oh, v'chai? Then begins with
V'choy.
v'choi. Afilu hayom kippur?
Yeah, but
No,
not.
yom what is this? Chayos hakodesh.
Shmuel, you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is this word down here? Chayos deva'usa or deva'ata mechai mechayas kulam. Down here, 5 lines from the bottom, or 6 lines from the bottom.
From the bottom.
Yeah, Elokai v'nimshach lachem chayos deva'ata.
Let me get there.
We didn't get there?
No.
I thought we started around there yesterday.
No, we started 5 lines from the top, not from the bottom.
Oh.
Be in the middle of the page. V'choy.
Okay, good. Fine.
So what we are saying here now is that the Asogas HaMalachim is only B'chinas Chitzonius. And Chitzonius means Yediyas HaMetzius. Again, as we tried several times to kind of differentiate Mehus and Metzius. Metzius means after the fact. Mehus means what makes it be. And as we explained, what makes it be does not mean a cause and effect. You know, what is the reality that it represents? Like we said yesterday, that Elokus, if your perception of Elokus is allows for the question, where does it come from, then you're not talking about Elokus. Elokus is fundamentally a reality. Truth beyond question where it comes from, because it's completely self-substantiating. Therefore, when we say Yediyas HaMehus, we're talking about not just knowing where it's come from, no, but knowing the source, what makes it be, what is the reality in it, not behind it. What is the reality in it? That's meant Asogas HaMehus. To get us a better, so I think, a handle on this, which is very, very important. We discussed it the other day, all in context of what we're learning. That Begashmius, for example, you have a hand, and the hand stretches out, and is able to pick up an object. Every one of these maneuvers denotes another interrelationship between different parts of the hand. And this is how that action is accomplished. There is, however, one spirit. It's called Koyach HaTnuah. One single spirit that illuminates and gives meaning to all of these maneuvers. Hmm?
What's the exact word? Meaning of tenua?
Movement. This is an essential reality. It's only the koyach hatenua from the nefesh, but it has a nefesh quality. To the extent this represents the nefesh, to the extent that we say, and everybody recognizes it, to whatever extent they do, but everybody recognizes it, that even after that the koyches ha-nefesh, the chayus, is separated from the guf, and the guf remains an inanimate object, that chayus remains, because it's an essential reality. To understand that chayus, we need a nefesh. There's no way we can understand that chayus from an external perspective. What is it? What does it look like? How much does it weigh? This is a mehus. And that chayus, that mehus, is representative, is rooted and representative of the godly reality. It's not a worldly reality, it's a godly reality. This is pointing to the union of a mahus. Something that is real not by virtue of its functionality and virtue of interaction, but just the reality itself. It's an interesting halacha. Halacha always gives us such a phenomenal power. When you carry on Shabbos, it's also to carry on Shabbos Meshuz Rabbi. If you carry a living person, interesting thing. You potter. You take a person out from one shoes into the other shoes. You carry him. A child. You potter. Why? Because a chai noisei atzatzmei. A chai carries himself. It's not mutter. Different corners and so forth, but essentially you potter. Halacha you'll learn elsewhere. You understand the significance of this? What's made the chai?
Only a person, only a human being, not an animal, let's say? Or any living thing?
Well, what's required in this achai noisei atzatzmei is that the chai wants to be carried. The animal doesn't know to want to be carried or not. The human being wants to be there, so therefore chai noisei atzatzmei. If the chai actually resists, then it doesn't apply. Again, gentlemen, it's not a halacha class. Just the concept. Chai noisei atzatzmei. Can he possibly carry himself without using his feet?
No, of course not. Well, he can crawl.
So what does it mean, that when he uses his feet, please follow this, when he uses his feet to walk, he is not walking by virtue of the fact that his feet are moving. His feet are moving by virtue of the fact that he is walking. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Pasuk says, "Vayankev Avinu." Yishu Yankev Raglov. Yankev lifted his feet. Vayilach Atzav Mekedem. and he went to Atzav Nekelim. When Yankim was running away from Esau, he said, Yankim, the feet pick him up, not he doesn't pick up his feet. The phenomenon of human activity is really a ruchnisdike phenomenon. I mentioned many times in class the shocking thing that it's very prevalent in our days, unfortunately. A person can be physically perfectly fit in every respect and is incapable of lifting a hand. No chai is going through. And the reason for that is, since I'm mentioning it, I might as well go a step further. Because the chayas comes from the nefesh. In our days, we are smarter than the nefesh. We know everything that's occurring with us. Forget about the nefesh. And once we deny the presence of the nefesh, we have nothing. According to our smart leaders, psychology is what leads us, not the nefesh. Coming back, look at Mahus, the reality itself, which comes from a real source, from the source of reality. To even begin to understand it and to relate to it, we have to know what the Rambam says, that there's a first being, Ma'amah needs. And he gives everything its presence. Even the blade of grass grows by virtue of this chayes. So, even Malachim, the Hasaga is beginning, Kitchen is beginning, ideas are Metzius. They know the Metzius, they know the presence. They know the fact of thing, but not the Mahus. Okay, we have that. No, that's from previous line. So, Malachim can also not see Elokus. B'choy, I feel a chayes hakedush. Leirani hodem b'choy. That Odom B'choy cannot see me. I explained yesterday, the Pshat and the Posik simply meant Hodom B'choy, a man cannot see me and remain standing alive. And we can understand it because standing alive means that you can relate to your body. If you see that which is completely above body, you cannot continue to exist in the body. So the Gemara says, B'choy means I feel a chayes hakedush. Even chayes hakedush in the Mahaya Malachim also cannot perceive Elokus. Even though they clearly know of Elokus, and yet to perceive it and to understand it, that's not possible. Hainu, and that is, so here, this is what I want to focus on. Hainu lefi, and that is because sheshoyresh his havuson, the very root of their presence. It is only from the level what's called Yichud Chitzoni de Avo, the external joining of Avo. Shezehu b'chinas ha'ora lavad, which is mili ha'ora. Because that their havos, their presence, is representing only Yichud Chitzoni de Avo, Al Kain, thus, Kol Mitziyuso v'Haviz Hasagosum Hu, therefore the entire Mitziyus, their presence and their Hasaga and their comprehension, Hu B'chinas Ha'or Chitzenis Levat, is merely Ha'or Chitzenis, an external Ha'or, an external reflection. I wanted to emphasize this line a little bit. Their root is in Yichud Chitzeni De'ava. The Metzius of the Malach. And therefore their comprehension is limited to Ahara Chitzenis. What this is telling us is that our comprehension is defined essentially by who we are. And therefore, this is a broad subject. I just wanted to make this statement. And therefore, if we should have a comprehension of anything beyond the physicality, like we pointed out, there's a koyach atnu, and there's a ruch nisik koyach, and we're able to perceive it, not fully comprehend, but even to perceive it means that we have that quality inherent in us. Going back to the table stands because it's being supported by its legs. That it can do. But the table cannot possibly have an idea what a table is, because it's completely composed of Gashmis. They cannot comprehend. And now it's a whole table, it's a whole structure. Why can't it understand what it stands for? Zero. Because that chayas was not imbued into the table. The human being does have a perception beyond the Gash of physicality. Why? Because he has a nefesh. And therefore that perception is based on nefesh, not based on guf. And the beginning of nefesh in the human being is in the brain, in the chokhmah, and in the munah.
In the what?
Amunah.
Amunah.
This is what the human being is. And this is, on the basis of that, he's able to understand all kinds of different madrigas, even to relate to Elokus. Okay. Now we go continue. This we already went into yesterday. B'chein, and similarly, Shoyres ha-hamshocha hazois, the root point of this hamshocha, the way it comes in chitzonis and ha'ora, the very shoyres of it, k'mei shehi l'mayla mechochmo bina, even as it is above chochmo bina. Chochmo bina is already definitive spheres and koiches. Nevertheless,
You're saying even?
what?
You're saying even as it is the Mila?
Yeah.
You gotta put that even.
What?
You gotta put in there the word even, because
V'chein.
Shoresh.
V'chein sheyesh hamshocha. Similarly, the root of this hamshocha, k'mei shehi l'mayla mechochmo bina, as it is above chochmo bina. Uki yodua, and as it's known, the Yid Chut Chitzeni de Avo, that this external Yichud of Avo, we discussed this in yesterday, this whole phenomenon of Yichud, who Gam came Me'oir and Soy Boru. That Yichud also is rooted and comes from Eir and Soy. What enables the yichud of Ava, of Chochmah Bina, it is the presence of Ein Sof. So you would say that at that level, which is above the Chochmah Bina, the source of this yichud, which is from Ein Sof. So we have to understand Harei Zeh Rak Gamkin Rag Ha'orach Hitzenis. Even at that level, it is only Ha'orach Hitzenis of the Ein Sof. This is illustrated for us in the terminology that we use all the time. That what is Chochmah? What is the essence of Chochmah? That there is such a thing as a truth. That's what Ha'orach Hitzenis.
What's
Yes.
What's the significance of this statement? So okay, also the root of this flow or this pulling down, even as it is a lamaila from the Chochmah and Bina, and as it everything is from our Ein Sof. We know this already, no? Everything is from the Or Ein Sof. What's the point he's making here?
That the yichud, the joining, you would think that the yichud comes from Ein Sof, from the essence of it. Is okay. You remember our illustration of Gneva, Sigmund?
Yeah, I remember you brought you.
No, but do you remember what it was about?
No.
No.
Oh, but what's yours can never be taken away from you.
Okay. No. Begashmi is loy signet means because there are two domains, two owners.
Okay.
Right. And then you say loy signoi. Why loy signoi? Because you shouldn't offend this person or that person. So that's at the mitzias, at the chitzeni, at the mitzias chitzeni. Okay? You shouldn't offend them.
Right.
So we said that is not the true limit of it. This is not the real source of this statement.
Right. Okay.
The real source of the statement is at a much higher level, even going back to Ein Sof. Even though you're talking about something completely chitzenius,
Right.
in essence, there is an element of Ein Sof in it.
Because the kind is like makusher to you. Your property is
No, you're not listening.
Okay.
The principle of the principle of I explained about Lo Signin is because everything belongs to one owner.
Okay. Right.
Therefore, you cannot make any changes there. There's nothing you can do. Like above the whole material world, Gneva is altogether not possible. So the effect of everything in the world really is rooted, even on the most chitzenizik level. Even on the most chitzenizik level, it's also rooted in Ein Sof. That's the point.
Aganif.
Small.
Okay.
This I have to limit it because
all right.
please stay on and continue,
yeah.
and then you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is the point. This is what the Rebbe says. That even the Ha'orach Hitzenis, even the Yichud Hitzeni, is also from Ein Sof. You would think Yichud Hitzeni has nothing to do with Ein Sof. That is completely contained on Hitzenis. So he says that's not true. In order to effectuate a Yichud Hitzeni, there has to be an element. It has to come from Ein Sof. Except in Ein Sof itself, it is only Ha'orach Hitzonis of Ein Sof. This is what he's saying. Your question, because we know everything comes from Ein Sof, it has not addressed this point which Rabbi is saying. Everything comes rooted in Ein Sof, but when it comes Chitzonis, it becomes Chitzonis. He says no. Even the Yichud Chitzeni, the Ava, is also Gam Kem Ein Sof.
It maintains the ratzon, the desire that it should be as it is.
It's also rooted in Ein Sof. That Harei Ze Gam Ken Rag Ha'orach Chitzenis Levad. So there in Ein Sof, it is also merely a Ha'orach Chitzenis. Of Ein Sof. All right. So this, I just wanted to emphasize that line between Malachim, and now we'll continue further. Okay. Have a great day.
Oh wow! Wow.